Superdome here in New Orleans. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Denver Broncos and the New Orleans Saints. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Here we go! Get set! Get ready! Get ready! Get ready!
First carry now for Kofani Muhammad. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
Brings up 3rd down.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. He may try and run for this. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver first.
And that was a nice, strong run by the guy they call the field general.
First down, Denver.
Let's go! Switch the outlaw! Come on, QB, come on!
This time Jackson will throw it. This is the tight end Fant. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I didn't get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Eli Apple. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Saints take over 1st and 10.
Watch the screen!
Boston Scott, his first carry. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now Locke throwing on 2nd down. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
Get wide! Hey, Sam up! Kill! Hard!
On first down, it's Scott. He's got a first down and more past the 30. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Throwing on first down is Locke. He's got Smith here. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The end result, 21 yards. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 48-yard line. Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Watch Mike. You. Get it.
From the 44, Locke. And finding the tight end, Wilson. Touchdown, New Orleans. Caleb Wilson with touchdown number 7 on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Lutz good on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
On second down, Muhammad. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable. And you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
No, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Jackson. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, nearly another interception there. That would have been 2 drives in a row with a pick. He's got to start taking care of the ball way better than what we're seeing.
Interestingly, that throw was probably worse than the one he threw the interception on last drive, but fell incomplete. And taken right on the 30. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. It's a punt return score of 70 yards. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. Lutz with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
We got this.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. On second down now, Muhammad, and he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now this time he'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down. Jackson on first down. This is caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. They'll come out in the pistol. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll try to run it in, going option right. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A great play there. His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. McManus's point after is good, and that'll make our score 14-7. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Leo! Hey, Haywood!
From the 31, block. Wilson's got it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. Ready for the second quarter from New Orleans. It's the Saints in possession as they've got it with a 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Scott, and they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Out on the edge, you love to have cornerbacks like that can bring him down in the run game.
And you're also exposed to everyone. It really becomes a one-on-one play, doesn't it? You're out there by yourself on the edge. The best ones know how to make the play, and we just saw an example of it right there.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
They come up to the line now facing a 3rd and 10 after the incompletion.
I'm coming after you. Switch it. Come on, switch it. Go. Get it ready.
Now a play fake, and here's Locke. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. A terrific return. 30 yards all in all. And the Broncos take over. 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. David Onyemata able to record his 5th sack of the season. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Here's Jackson to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Jackson on 3rd and long. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Marcus Davenport has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. they don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Give them 11 yards that time on the return. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
A big-time play there for New Orleans. Give him 52 yards on the ground. A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Lock going to throw. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. His intended receiver, the tight end, Caleb Wilson. And now it's third down.
Set, ready? 10 Lobo. I got one. Say. Fire.
On third and long, it's Locke. Complete. Smith has it. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. So following the holding call, what can they do here on third and long?
Hey, lock it. 25, check 25. Bravo. 52, Mike 52. Come on, D. Hey, Mike 52. I'm coming.
Now Locke. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Rashawn Gary has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. On the run, this is Hilliard. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Hilliard. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. 11 yards there, first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, last drive they went 3 and out.
On first down, Hilliard. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. Eluding the pressure right, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
So many times we talk about having good eye discipline when you're playing defense, making sure your eyes are in the proper place on a given play. Looks like that discipline came to the front there, didn't it? They were able to hold him for a short gain when he took off running.
They go play action now. Jackson, and he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he's going to be stopped well short of what he needed as the tackle is made at the 18-yard line.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field's still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Here we go. Here we go.
Lock to throw on 2nd down. Completes it to Dixon. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a 1st down.
On the double. Three down. Hey, 61. Matchbox lights. Key 26. Key 26. Kill. Check. Hey, zoom. Look at me. Zipper.
They'll run on 1st down. Scott. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
That's got to be a long day.
Go out. Let's go.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
At the 16-yard line.
Watch the shift.
On 2nd down, it's Scott. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. As the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the 1st half. They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Here's Locke. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the 1st half.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my linemen out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run pass option. Cortland Sutton was the man he was looking for. And it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the first at about the 21. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to kick it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game as we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Set now to go for the third quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They have the lead now. They'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
53's the mic. 53. Check 53. Come on. 53's the mic. Let's go.
Block now on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
Throwing now is Love. Looking middle, and it's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Throwing on second and long. Lock, Dixon, complete. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, New Orleans. A big play there with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz good on the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Now whistles, and we've got a man down. A man down here following the kickoff. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
From all the way up at the 38 now after a good start to the drive. Jackson from the shotgun. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense... Step up and make that play because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Let's go, let's go.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. And once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jackson. Got a man open. It's Sutton. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a 1st down. So give them the yardage on the pass and half the distance to the goal line.
Because they're inside the 30, so now you don't march off the full 15, right? You have half the distance to the goal. In any event, that's precious real estate given up.
And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. Now Jackson. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Ken Crawley. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. 30, 10, and he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
That's it, baby. We got 6.
Wants to try to add the PAT. And the lead is up to 18 now. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone.
Let's go, Buck.
At their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told him, and they told us, they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give it deep.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Marcus Davenport in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now, the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
He completes this to Sutton. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Saints are going to get it back and in great shape. On 1st and 10, here's Locke. He completes it to Wilson. Pushing his way through. Touchdown, New Orleans. Caleb Wilson, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
And he's upended at the 33 following a good pickup of 8.
That was a good run, and it got to the second level. And what I mean by that is that's where the linebackers usually play. First level being the defensive front, last level being the secondary. But the strong safety position ended up making the tackle. And oftentimes we call them a hybrid. Combination defensive back, combination linebacker. We saw the linebacker make the stop.
It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. Fielded at the 20. It's a net of 40 there. A punt of 48 and a return of 8. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter. Defensively, they did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break, taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A Bronco 1st down there, 12 yards on the play. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 18. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December.
Season of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Rashawn Gary in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On 2nd down now, it's Scott. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. I was pretty surprised there when they lined up to run it on 2nd and long, but it worked out for them.
It certainly did, and that requires some confidence, some fortitude, and a little bit of hope, doesn't it? You hope you catch the defense just right and break off a big run to help yourself out on the next down.
A nickel set defensively for the Broncos here on 3rd down.
52's the mic, boys. 52.
Ready?
Throwing his lock on 3rd down. Over the middle, complete. It's Dixon. And now off to the races, down the right side. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A big play there. 78 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
To throw again on second down. Jackson. And he is going to be taken down. And that should be the final play of this third quarter. Marcus Davenport racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. The Broncos on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now it's Jackson. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to make it 4th down.
47 is the mic. Hot 7. Here we go. Switch.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Marcus Davenport. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line.
Mike 52. Rip right.
On 1st down, Scott. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Boston Scott, his 14th touchdown now on the year, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Lutz good on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover. Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign.
Third and 15.
The Broncos on 3rd down. Just 1 conversion and 8 tries. Not good. This will be 3rd and 15. Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9.
Hey, orbit.
Mike 54. You remember me? You remember me? Let's go, baby. 54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Hey, Charlie.
They're running it.
From the gun on third down, Locke. And he's got his tight end. That's Smith. A good pickup there, 21 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that.
And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Boston Scott with touchdown number 15 of the year and second of the game as his guys continue to pour it on. Lutz with the extra point, and the lead will swell by one more. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket?
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. David Onyemata in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing second and a bundle.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They run the counter. Muhammad. And they won't fare much better here as he maybe gets back to the line. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a third and long situation coming up. The Broncos on third down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic. 1 for 9 thus far. This will be third and a mile.
Check 13. Check 13.
Check 26. Check 26.
From the gun, Jackson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
Look at me. Go. Go.
They go again with Scott. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Scott. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. And for the second time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. The kick by Lutz is good. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. So it's Bronco football as we get your reset here. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. They go play action here on 1st down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. To throw again. Jackson. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. Marcus Davenport in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year.
Ready? 51, right 51. I'm going to run you over. Yep. Run you over. Switch.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. He'll get 7 yards there on the keeper, but still 4th down.
A gain of 7, but it's 4th down.
Back and in great shape. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll take a knee as the clock runs under a minute to play.
It's a loss of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 35-yard line.
Ready? 60 Pittsburgh.
Run it.
Ready.
And they'll indeed take a knee.